Welcome to IP Law 101 and Bubbly again. We are back with another rendition of IP Law 101 and Bubbly. We're going to be talking about trademark law today. So I'm going to go over some basics of trademark law, basically explaining the difference between trademarks and service marks, and explain why one is called trademark, one is called service mark, and also kind of get into why it is important to protect trademarks at all costs. Today, we are trying a new champagne that I got at my favorite wine shop in my neighborhood. It's called Three Parks Wine. They have a location 044, fantastic. Here in Atlanta, Black owned. Just had to put that plug in. So this champagne is from a small house, small champagne house in the Champagne region of France. It's Billecart Salmon, and this is a Brut Reserve. Came highly recommended. I love trying champagne from small houses. I find that they tend to be exquisite. So I'm super excited to try it. It's also, it's a blend of Pinot Noir grapes, Chardonnay grapes, and Meunier grapes. And yeah, so let's pop it. Check it out. I'll also I'll tag the Champagne's website if you guys are interested in trying it in the live when I repost it. Awesome. Okay. So I'm wearing green today because it is St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but I'm here for the drinks. Also, green's my favorite color, so I always wear green on St. Patrick's Day. So I have this little sparkling green sweater on, as you can see. So yeah, this is my St. Patrick's Day celebration. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to pop this bottle. All right. Woo! Okay. Nice. That was pretty good. Okay, let's pour. You hear those bubbles? All right. Okay. So, loving the color. The color is really nice. Love the bubbles. The smell. So it's very fruity. Has I can smell some fruit undertones, maybe some pear. Very floral. So let's try it. Lots of pear. You can definitely taste the pear in this particular champagne, which I love. It's very light. It's very refreshing. It's dry, but not too dry because I am not a fan of extremely dry champagne. So that is really nice. It's delicious. Yay. Okay, awesome. Okay. So let's talk about Trademark Law 101. So some of the basics. So a trademark is any drawing. It could be words, it could be phrases, sounds, anything that identifies a brand, anything that identifies any type of brand that is offered for sale to the general public. Now, there are two types of marks that you can have. You can have a trademark or a service mark. So simply put, a trademark protects goods. So that could be ketchup. So that could be like Hunt's is the trade name, the trademark for Hunt's ketchup. That could be furniture. It could be mayonnaise, cars. There's plenty of trademarks that you see that represent lots of cars. So like Lexus and Acura, Jeep, Honda. So that is what they are. So trademarks protect goods. A service mark protects services. So for instance, if I own a restaurant, then that is the service that I'm providing. So if I have a trademark or some branding that protects my restaurant, then that would be a service mark. So that could be McDonald's as a service mark for fast food, hamburgers. They have the golden arches, they have the name, that would be their service marks. Also, another service mark could be like legal services, like IP Law 101 and BUBBLY. That is a service mark. It could be consulting service, KPMG. So anything that protects a service is a trademark. A service mark. Oh, I have a question. So I have a question, and if you have any questions, please do put them in the chat. I would love to answer any questions you have. One question someone asked me, could I trademark my art? So that is a really good question because art is protected by copyright. So for example, let's talk about Basquiat because he's really popular right now. So his artwork could be protected by copyright because copyrights protects creative works. But his name, Basquiat, is a trademark that identifies his works. So if you have art, you can protect the contents of that art via copyright. But if you want to brand it and sell your art or your name, you become a famous artist like Picasso or Basquiat, that would be your trademark. That's a great question. Thank you for that question. So a company that I love to use as a great example of owning multiple trademarks is Coca-Cola. Because Coca-Cola owns the trademark to the Coca-Cola name. They also own the trademark to the shape of the bottle, the trade dress. That's what we call a trade dress. It's like that Coke bottle shape. They own that. That's a trademark. All the brands that they own, like Sprite and Fanta, those are trademarks that they own under the Coca-Cola brand. So they have the name, they own the Coca-Cola, Coke, and they own thousands of brands of beverages that are underneath their umbrella. Another example of a really unique trademark is Southwest Airlines. So Southwest Airlines, when you hear that commercial, it says, that ding, I want to get away, got to get away. They own a trademark to that sound because that sound is very distinct and it identifies Southwest Airlines. Very creative trademark. An example of a service mark would be Georgia Power, Southern Company. So Southern Company owns a plethora of companies. Georgia Power is one of them, but it provides electric services. So Southern Company, they have the umbrella company has their trademark that identifies that company and all that they encompass, but then they also own individual power companies within the Southern Company family, and each of those are service marks that the Southern Company owns. And I just want to briefly touch on why it's super important to protect your trademark or your service mark. Well, the first reason why is because people do copy. You come up with a good brand name for a product or service and you're making money from that. And, so a competitor comes and they want to kind of benefit from that goodwill that you built with that trademark. So they can, people copy all the time. So if you are the first to use the trademark, then you can prevent them from using it. You can cease and desist. You can send out cease and desist. And you have lots of remedies through federal law to fight infringers. And those are people that copy without your express permission. Another reason why it's super important to protect your trademarks and your service marks is because it's intellectual property and it's valuable income. It's valuable royalty income that you can earn from allowing others to use that particular trademark or service mark. So, for example, McDonald's is a good example. It's like the franchising. So, McDonald's started that one company and they sold franchises to individual owners across the country and the world, but they still own that trademark. So, every time they open up, a new franchisee comes aboard, they have to get the express permission from McDonald's to use that trademark. And McDonald's charges them a licensing fee or royalty fee to use that trademark every month. So McDonald's is collecting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of royalty fees from various restaurants that they're affiliated with around the world. So that is super, super important because I think that, normally we don't think about intellectual property as a way to make money, as being a source of income, but it is. And so it's always important when you start a new brand and start a new business, to protect that trademark up front, because you never know, you could, someone may want to use your trademark and you could charge them a fee to use it, or you could sell it. You could sell your intellectual property to another business and make valuable income from that. So if you guys have any questions about the difference between trademarks and service marks and why they're important to protect, you can always send me an email through my website. You can join a chat. You can ask questions. And I look forward to our next meeting. And we'll dive next, live. We'll dive a little bit more deeper into trademark law. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you have some bubbly. Check this out. I'll drop the link in the chat. And thank you for joining me today. Bye.